Now it's time to record, and there are many things you can do when it comes to audio editing. Before you begin recording, you should know a few things. Mono or stereo, file output, bit rate, and sample rate. Mono or stereo is pretty straightforward. Mono will have one track, stereo will have two. The file output will be like an MP3, WAV, AAC, CCIT ULAW, and so on. The bit rate will be 16, 24, or 32. And the sample rate will be anywhere from 8 kilohertz to 192 kilohertz. It does get higher, but I've never personally been asked to provide anything higher than 192 kilohertz sample rate. If they don't specify what they want, and most of your clients won't, I typically record and deliver the following: mono, MP3, 32-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. All right, so the first step in your editing process should be to listen to the track to ensure that everything is technically accurate. Is every single word technically accurate? If not, then let's correct it. Okay, so let's record something with some mistakes. Don't you hate it when you want to go on a vacation, but you just don't have time to plan your getaway? We've solved that little problem for you, and then some. Visit our website to take advantage of our complimentary destination guides. If you already know where you'd like to go, that's half the battle. You can book discount airfares, hotel, and your rental car all on our site. What a lifesaver. Simple, inexpensive, and fast. Shouldn't everything in life be like this? All right. I think I recorded myself saying all right here. All right. Yeah, we're going to delete that. So what we want to do right now is make sure that this is technically accurate. We want to listen to everything. Don't you hate it when you want to go on a vacation, but you just don't have time to plan your getaway? We've solved that little problem for you, and then some. Visit our website to take advantage of our complimentary destination guides. If you already All right, so we see right there, there's some coughing. We want to go ahead and just take that on out. Just take it on out. If you already destination guides. If you already know where you'd like to go, that's half the battle. You can book discount airfares, hotel, and your rental car all on our site. What a lifesaver. Simple, inexpensive, and fast. Shouldn't everything in life be like this? Okay, so now what I like to do, and this is just me, but what I like to do is first just export this raw file as an MP3. I like to do this just in case things go awry and I need a backup. So we'll call this raw sample 2, just so we can always come back to this once we start our editing process. All right, now what I want to do next is to remove noise. So when removing noise, this is done by the noise reduction effect here in Audacity. So we go to Effect, Noise Reduction Effect. Now, you can adjust these levels that are listed here, but it's usually just best to stick with the preset levels until you know what you're doing. The goal in noise reduction is to remove as much noise as possible without affecting your voiceover. So the way that this works is that Audacity wants you to first grab a stretch of audio that should be silent. What you're doing right now is helping Audacity figure out what exactly noise is. So here I have an area that should be silent that I have selected, and I go to noise reduction and hit Get Noise Profile. Okay, and now I want to select the entire track. Okay, so first thing we did was select the Get Noise Profile. Now I'm selecting the entire track. We come back down here to Noise Reduction. All right, so I'll go through these things quickly. The noise reduction section controls the amount of volume reduction to be applied to the identified noise. The sensitivity controls how much of the audio should be considered as noise. The sensitivity essentially further defines what noise is. And the frequency smoothing spreads the noise reduction across a specified number of bands. This will apply the noise reduction to parts of your voice recording that you probably want to keep, so you should definitely use this effect sparingly. But again, you could play around with this to see what works best for you. Okay, since we already got the noise profile and we have the entire track selected, we just select OK, and now it has been applied. Now we want to get a consistent sound. The best way to achieve this is by using the compressor effect. The compressor reduces the dynamic range of audio. Reducing the dynamic range of the audio allows for the audio to be amplified more consistently without clipping. This process is sometimes necessary to achieve certain RMS or root mean square levels. This is the normal method for calculating the average sound level of an audio file. Now, again, like with the noise reduction effect, you can play around with the levers and switches here on the compressor effects, but we'll go through these so you can have an idea of what you will be doing. So the threshold is the level above which compression is applied to the audio. So that means all audio above this decibel level will be compressed. Now, when you're working with decibel levels, you're working in negative numbers. So negative 23 is smaller than negative 12, which is smaller than negative 1. Now, the noise floor allows us to tell the compressor what not to amplify. We don't want to amplify background noise. So when we set the noise floor, we are telling the compressor that we don't want to amplify sounds below this decibel level. You'll need to play around with this level to see what works best for your room. Ratio. This ratio right here dictates the amount of compression that is to be applied to the audio that exceeds the threshold. The number is listed in terms of 6:1, 3.5:1, or even 1:1. The bigger the number, the more the compression. The attack and release dictate the speed in which changes begin and end. Attack is at the beginning and release is at the end. You can play around with these to see how it affects your sound, but I typically don't move these. And finally, these radio buttons down here at the bottom. You have the makeup gain for 0 decibel levels after compressing, which essentially amplifies your audio to a peak level of 0 decibel levels. And you have the compress based on peaks, which dictates whether the compressor uses the RMS level or peak values. For the work that I do, I select this button right here, compress based on peaks, 99% of the time. There it is. I select that 99% of the time to base my compression off of peaks. So again, we want to select, and we want to select the right thing. So we want to come here to compressor, leave everything where it is. And what happens is now we have a larger, more fuller sound with a smaller dynamic range. Can hear just a piece. Don't you hate it when you want to go on a vacation, but you just don't have time to plan your getaway? We've solved that little problem for you, and then some. Visit our website to take advantage of our... Okay. Next, we want to set the peak levels. This can be done in a number of ways. We'll just look at the amplify effect right here. Now, by selecting the entire project and changing the new peak amplitude to whatever level we are looking to set, we can achieve the peak level standard by which we're looking for. For instance, one of the requirements for ACX audiobooks is that the peak volume levels shouldn't be higher than -3 decibel levels. So if we were shooting for -3 decibel levels, we would put -3 there in the new peak amplitude and hit OK. Now, if we were shooting for something a little bit louder and said -1 decibel levels, we see that it gets louder right there. Don't you hate it when you want to go on a vacation, but you just don't have time to plan your getaway? Finally, we'll remove breaths. Unfortunately, we are humans and we breathe. And while we can use certain breathing techniques and even certain processors to reduce breaths on our tracks, it still may be necessary to remove breathing manually from your recording. I like to use the Amplify tool to reduce breaths in the recording. The important thing to remember when removing breaths is that if we remove too much breathing, we will also get rid of room tone and the recording can sound robotic. So be careful when removing breathing and find an acceptable level. So we want to enlarge this first, and we'll just remove a few so you could see the process. Getaway, see, we have to get rid of this breath. So just like we increase things there with a new peak amplitude, I actually want to just reduce this. Now, you may be tempted to use this silencing button that is right here. The silence would work and it would remove a breath, but it can make the recording sound robotic because you're actually getting rid of room tone as well. So you typically don't want to do it that way. So I'll just remove it like that. Your getaway, we've solved that little problem for you, and then some. We can repeat the effect just like that. You, and then some. Visit our website to take advantage of our complimentary destination guides. If you already know where you'd like to go, that's half the battle. And this process can be very tedious sometimes, but this is one of the things that helps make your project shine. Okay, so after you remove the breaths, you're done recording. And at that point, you can export your file, MP3, WAV, or whatever it is that you're going to export, and you're good to go. Got it?